Hi, and welcome to Women at Work, The Woe Factor. I'm your host, Mary Eileen Williams, and this show is all about connecting you with experts, tips, and strategies to help you make the most of this very special time of life. Well, today's topic is one I know many of you are going to relate to out there because it's all about learning to live the should-free life. And our guest, Janet Neal, claims to be an expert because this woman is a reformed superwoman for sure. But she's very busy now, I got to say. Yeah. She's a coach, a connector, and a community leader who believes passionately in the power of women. Yippee, Janet. She's also the president of Superwoman, Inc., and she's the author of this fabulous book, Soul in Control, Reflections of a Reformed Superwoman. We use two terms that are, to me, kind of interchangeable. Well, not interchangeable, but related. Reformed Superwoman, but then Superb Woman. So do these intersect? Are they connected? Tell us a little bit more about those terms you use.
Sure. I started off, when I was writing my book, I was thinking about the fact that I used to feel like I had to do everything, do it myself, and do it perfectly. Pretty much followed the mold of what I thought I should do and be a superwoman. And that worked for a while until it stopped working. And I decided that I needed to reform my life in order to make it work for me. So hence the name of Reformed Superwoman kind of came into being. And then the more that I thought about it, the more I really wanted to get away from that whole idea of being a superwoman, because the thing with superwoman is it's all about doing. It's all about, how much can you do? And superb woman is really taking a step back. And just by putting in the B in the word to make it superb instead of super, it's really the emphasis is all on the being. So what I want to do is to have women take a look at their lives, who they are, figure that out, and then go do.
I do have to say, I love the terminology you do use in the book. One of my favorite sayings is hanging up your cape. So if for those women out there who truly relate to the superwoman side of it, what are some of the ways that they might go about taking some baby steps or some initial ways that they could start hanging that cape up?
Sure. I think the very first step is to take a look at your values. As a coach, that's the very first thing I do with my clients, is I have them write down their top 10 values. And I know that I've taken you through this exercise, Eileen, and you and others, and it's a very eye-opening experience for some people because you think you know what you're all about, but many times you haven't taken the time to actually write it down, and by writing it down, it really solidifies it in your mind. And the reason I do that is because I believe that your values are really the building blocks of who you are. They really represent, in your DNA what's important to you. And so when you go to make some decisions in your life, all you need to do is refer back to these values, and that will be your guiding, your guidepost for making any decisions.
I kind of think that maybe sometimes our values change, even if they might be part of our DNA. They might grow and evolve because we're growing and evolving.
Yeah. I think that your values, if they're really true core values, they stay with you, but they totally shift in priority. And to your point, as we grow and we change, we will realize that some things that we thought were important to us really aren't important to us. You may have thought that something was a value of yours because you've acted that way, but if you actually go back and look at it, it may be that it was like your parents or society or somebody else told you that's what it should be, but in reality it might have not have been yours all along. I totally lived a life built on shoulds. I always looked outside of myself to see how I was doing, what I should be doing, And so I incorporated a lot of what I thought were my values into my lifestyle. And then I realized when it wasn't working, I had to take a really good look at it. And the word should is like a red flag. So anytime you hear yourself saying it, you have the opportunity to step back and go, is this true for me or not? And if it's not true for you, then you have a choice. You either let it go or you do something about it.
Oh, I got goosebumps. I love that, Janet, because actually, yes, I have heard myself, not so much lately, I'm happy to say, but I should do this, no, I need to do that because blah, blah, and my heart isn't in it. And I think that's one of the lessons of growing older is that we want to be more authentic.
Kind of a classic example of one young mother who was working and really was struggling with time management and couldn't figure out how to get it all done. So I'm like, all right, so we did the values exercise, found out that family was really important to her. So then we went through and did an exercise where we took a look at what she did in her day. So I'm like, okay, step me through your day. So what do you do first? Okay, so I wake up, I get the kids up, I feed them breakfast, and then while they're eating, I go iron my my baby's clothes, and then I go and I went, wait, what? She said, I iron my baby's clothes, and I'm like, you iron baby's clothes? and she just had come from this belief that somewhere along the line she felt that she should do this, and that it's important to look good. But I'm like, really, a baby? You need to be ironed? I said, how much time does that take you? So we stepped it through, and then she realized, oh yeah, I don't really need to do that.
Oh, Janet, well, those points are great. And believe me, as many shoulds as I might have had, I never iron my baby's clothes.
Me neither.
How do we allow those shoulds not to creep back into our lives?
Yeah. Well, they're going to come up. I can almost guarantee it that they will come back up. And what happens with a lot of people is when it comes back in, they go, this is too hard, and they just fall back into their old patterns. So the thing that you need to do is develop awareness and just listen to your thinking. Listen to those things that are going through your head. And again, anytime you hear the should, it's more an acknowledgement than anything else. You go, oh right, yeah, I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. What I do is I have people write down their values and then post them somewhere. So maybe above your desk, maybe put them on your bathroom mirror, somewhere so that it's always there for you.
So do you have one or two points that you'd like to say, leave with our viewers today?
Sure. I mean, I just encourage everyone to take the time to understand what's important to you, to be your best self, because the world needs it so desperately these days, to have that light within you shining out there. And as soon as you can figure out who you are, then you can teach someone else how to do that for them, and it's just going to make us all better people.
And we don't have to should at all.
You don't have to should on yourself at all.
So today's words come from Harriet Breaker, who wrote the book, The Disease to Please. And what Harriet said, I think it's very fitting, striving for excellence motivates you. Striving for perfection is demoralizing. So go out there and show them your woe factor, ramp it up, show them what you got, but don't worry about being perfect. This is your very imperfect host, Mary Eileen Williams, saying, we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.